Shocking first impressions. She looked like a soccer mom. Opening beat. Hook the viewer hard. So let me ask you something, fam. What if I told you that Kody Brown, yes, the same man who parades his love for Robyn on every camera TLC can point at him, once described her as, wait for it, an ick? Yup, you heard me right. She looked like a soccer mom, he said. She had a van. She had 3 kids. She was divorced. I thought, oh no. That was Kody Brown's real first impression of the woman he now claims was love at first sight. So how did we go from ick to eternal soulmate? That, my friends, is the twist TLC doesn't want you to examine too closely. The TLC illusion versus the unfiltered truth. On screen, we've been force-fed this story of divine attraction. The idea that Robyn walked into church and Kody was struck by a lightning bolt of destiny. They lock eyes. The world stands still. Angels sing in the background. You know the drill. But behind the scenes, the reality is much messier. In a season 1 tell-all, Kody slipped up. Or maybe he just couldn't help but speak his truth. He described Robyn's appearance in the most unromantic, disconnected way possible. She looked like a soccer mom. Not a radiant new chapter, not a spiritual connection, not even a spark. Just a soccer mom with baggage he didn't want. And we're not making this up. He literally called her situation trouble and said, I don't need a van, a divorce, and 3 kids in my life. Wow, tell us how you really feel, Kody. So why did he change his mind? This is where things get murky and real, because something clearly shifted in Kody. We know that TLC was pressuring the Browns to add a 4th wife for the sake of ratings. The family's storyline was stalling, and they needed a spark, a new dynamic. And guess who just so happened to appear right when the producers were hungry for drama? Yep, Robyn. Now imagine this. Robyn enters the picture, not because of divine intervention, but because her mother, rumored to be the real mastermind, saw an opportunity on camera and took it. And suddenly, the same woman Kody once thought of as a red flag becomes his main event? It doesn't add up. Unless you realize this was never about love. It was about optics. It was about control. It was about attention. Emotional contradiction at the core. So here's the contradiction. Kody says Robyn was love at first sight, but then he also says she was the last thing he wanted. So which is it? Because you can't rewrite history and call it divine. Was it spiritual destiny? Or was it a slow pivot from repulsion to obsession once the camera started rolling and the ratings went up? And let's be honest, if this had been Christine, or Janelle or Meri, Kody would have never forgiven a rough first impression. He held on to every flaw the OG wives had like ammo in a war. But with Robyn, he threw out every instinct he had and handed her the crown. Final beat, set the stage for what's coming. This isn't just a love story gone sideways. This is the origin of the favoritism, the rewriting of the family dynamic, and the beginning of the emotional dismantling of the other wives. Because Kody didn't fall in love with Robyn. He fell in love with what she represented, a clean slate, a new narrative, and a woman willing to play the game his way. And the rest of the family? Well, they were just supporting characters in a show that slowly stopped being about them. Up next in Act 2, we're diving into the lightning bolt lie, how Robyn borrowed Christine's actual love story and made it her own. Stick around, because you're not going to believe what she did next. Rewriting history, the lightning bolt. Lie. Let's talk about the infamous lightning bolt moment. The story Christine once shared as her raw, romantic, deeply personal memory of seeing Kody for the first time. She said it was like a lightning bolt shot through her, an instant connection, something spiritual. It was beautiful. It was hers. And then, Robyn claimed the exact same story. Years later, out of nowhere, Robyn suddenly recalls her first moment seeing Kody. And guess what? She too felt a lightning bolt shoot through her whole body. Seriously? Let's be clear. Robyn never mentioned this story until much, much later, long after Christine's version had already aired. It's almost as if she watched that scene, took notes, and then tried to rewrite her own narrative with Christine's original words. This wasn't some cute coincidence. This was calculated mimicry. Robyn didn't just want Kody's attention, she wanted Christine's position, Christine's romance, and even Christine's memories. And the worst part? TLC let her do it. They aired it without question, without acknowledging the deja vu we all felt watching her copy paste someone else's love story. When Robyn stole that lightning bolt, she wasn't just crafting a new chapter, she was trying to erase the old one. Because if she could become Christine in Kody's eyes, Zrenia, then she could replace her completely. And we all know what happened next. So no, this wasn't a story of fate or divine timing. This was the first clue that Robyn wasn't here to join the sisterhood. She was here to rewrite it. Coming up in Act 3, Robyn doesn't just rewrite memories, she rewrites photos. You won't believe what she did with a family portrait that once belonged to Christine. The photo swap, erasing Christine's family. If you ever needed proof that Robyn wasn't just blending into the Brown family, she was erasing it. This is it. Let's rewind to one of the most shocking moments in Sister Wives history. The photo swap. A treasured family portrait of Christine and Kody with their children, their shared memories, their history, their bond, was quietly, coldly replaced. And who took Christine's place in that photo? Robyn, with her 3 kids. 3 children who, by the way, didn't even know Kody back then. Let that sink in. Christine didn't just lose her marriage. She lost decades of memories, cropped out of her own family's past like she never existed. And for what? To make space for Robyn's carefully curated version of the perfect Brown family. This wasn't an accident. It was surgical erasure, the emotional equivalent of throwing someone's wedding album in the trash. For Christine's kids, imagine seeing your own mother, the woman who raised you, sacrificed for you, loved you, edited out of your family photo. Imagine being told silently but powerfully, you're no longer part of the story. This was never about blending families. This was about replacing one. And Robyn knew exactly what she was doing. Because when you erase the past, you can rewrite the future. And Robyn? She was busy scripting herself as the centerpiece of the Brown Empire, one deleted memory at a time. Coming up in Act 4, the house that crowned her queen, Robyn's not-so-humble Flagstaff sacrifice, and how it sealed the fate of the other wives. The Queen's House, Robyn's strategic real estate move. So let's talk about Robyn's sacrifice in Flagstaff. The massive house she just had to have for the family. Because if you think that mansion was about unity, think again. That house wasn't a home, it was a power play. While Janelle was stuck juggling rentals and Meri was half exiled to the fringes, Robyn swooped in and bought the biggest house on the block, all under the noble excuse of hosting family gatherings. Oh, please, let's be honest. That house was her throne. She wasn't just buying property, she was buying status. With every square foot, Robyn was positioning herself as the emotional headquarters of the Brown family. Holidays at Robyn's, birthdays at Robyn's, family meals. You guessed it, at Robyn's. She didn't ask for consensus. She didn't care about fairness, because this wasn't about what the family needed. It was about making herself the gravitational center of Kody's world. And spoiler, it worked. Suddenly, the other wives were orbiting Robyn's domain, not just physically, but emotionally. Kody had his robe and slippers ready at her fireplace while the rest were left out in the cold, literally and figuratively. Robyn didn't just want a house, she wanted the headquarters, the command center, the image of stability and power, and she built it right on top of Christine's role as the family gatherer. From cooking to holidays to grandkids, Robyn quietly made herself the default wife, while everyone else faded into the background. And the sad part? The rest of the family let it happen. Coming up in Act 5, let's talk weddings, dresses, and honeymoons, and how Robyn's fairy tale exposed just how unequal this family truly was. The honeymoon and the dress, inequality on full display. If there was ever a moment that screamed, Robyn is the favorite, it was the wedding and the honeymoon. Let's set the scene. Robyn gets a lavish, televised ceremony, custom bridal gown, cake tastings, a spotlight on every moment, TLC cameras capturing it all like a royal event, and after the vows, a 2-week honeymoon, complete with luxury, romance, and attention. Now compare that to the other wives. Christine scrambled to throw her wedding together with barely a dress. Janelle didn't even wear one. Meri hand sewed hers. And their honeymoons? If you blinked, you missed them. In fact, one of them happened during Kody's lunch break. Let that sink in. While Robyn was floating on cloud nine with her dream dress and cameras, Meri, Janelle, and Christine watched from the sidelines, reduced to background extras in a show that was supposed to be about equality. For Meri, it hit especially hard. She was the first wife, the one who started this journey with Kody. And yet, she sat silently watching another woman get the celebration she never had. That's not just unfair, it's emotionally devastating. And TLC? They didn't just film it, they helped glorify it. They turned Robyn into a fairy tale and the rest into faded footnotes, mocking and undermining. Robyn's private jabs. Behind that soft-spoken voice and endless tears, Robyn was doing something no one dared call out. She was mocking, undermining, and strategically tearing down the other wives from the inside out. Let's start with Janelle. She was practical, financially savvy, and fiercely independent. And how did Robyn respond? By subtly mocking her in private, questioning her money management skills, and conveniently being confused about why everyone thought she controlled the finances. Spoiler, she did. And she made sure Kody believed she was the only one capable of fixing their financial chaos. Then there's Meri, the first wife, the legal wife, the woman who once held the top spot. Robyn didn't confront her head on. Oh no, she just quietly chipped away at her pride, stepping into Meri's place in the family hierarchy, taking over emotional space with Kody, and eventually becoming his legal wife herself. All the while, she played the innocent bystander. And how did she seal the deal with Kody, the victim card? Anytime the wives disagreed with her, she cried. When Christine stood up for herself, Robyn painted her as cold. When the family dynamic cracked, she wept on cue, while quietly reinforcing the idea that she was the only one who truly understood Kody. It wasn't just manipulation. It was performance art, and Kody fell for it every single time. Kody's narcissism, religion was never the reason. Let's stop pretending this was ever about faith. From the beginning, Kody framed his polygamy as a spiritual calling, a sacred duty. But as the seasons rolled on, the truth became harder to ignore. This wasn't about God, it was about Kody. Kody didn't crave deeper spiritual connection. He craved admiration. He didn't build a plural family for love, he built a stage. And the moment Christine, Janelle, and Meri stopped clapping, he emotionally walked off. You saw it happen in real time. As each wife gained independence, Kody's attention recoiled like a spotlight threatened to be dimmed. When they challenged his choices, set boundaries, or dared to say no, he didn't lean in, he checked out. But Robyn, she never challenged him. She cried, she submitted, she whispered validation in his ear. And that was exactly what Kody needed. Someone who reflected back the image he wanted to see. She didn't just accept his narcissism, she fed it. His religious devotion disappeared the minute it no longer served him. No more talks of God, no more unity, no more equality. Just a man playing king in a castle built on favoritism and ego. Kody once claimed God led him to polygamy. But when it got hard, when real love required effort, compromise, and accountability, he blamed the wives and ran straight to the one who never questioned him. Emotional discard and financial dependence. Meri's sad goodbye. If there's one chapter in this story that hurts the most, it's Meri's quiet, lonely exit. After decades of loyalty, through scandal, heartbreak, public humiliation, Meri stayed. She stayed when Kody emotionally withdrew. She stayed when Robyn legally took her place. She stayed even when the family treated her like a ghost in her own home. And then, her mother died. At the lowest moment of her life, grieving the sudden loss of Bonnie, what was Kody's brilliant idea? Why don't you just move to Parawan? Translation, we don't need you here anymore. No comfort, no companionship, no family support. Just a gentle shove out the door, wrapped in fake concern. Let's be honest, this wasn't about healing. This was about clearing space. Kody and Robyn needed Meri out of the way, but not out of the picture, because while her presence wasn't wanted, her financial contributions still were. Meri helped fund the family for years. From her clothing business to her hustle, she supported them all while getting nothing in return. No intimacy, no respect, no seat at the table. She gave everything to a family that slowly, systematically erased her. And yet, she didn't expose them. She didn't lash out. She walked away with grace, even when she had every reason to burn it all down. The hollow love story, what's left of Robyn and Kody. Now, so after all the drama, manipulation, and favoritism, what's left of the fairy tale? Honestly, not much. Watch Robyn and Kody on screen now, and what you see isn't love. It's not warmth. It's not chemistry. It's two people desperately clinging to a story they've told for so long, they can't admit it was never real. Where's the laughter, the ease, the affection that should come from years of marriage and supposed soulmate energy? Gone. In its place, tension, distance, and long, awkward silences. Even their body language tells the truth. Robyn avoids eye contact. Kody rambles, fidgets, and snaps with frustration. They don't sit close. They don't touch. They perform. Because at the core, this wasn't love, it was a transaction. Robyn gave Kody loyalty, obedience, and validation when his ego was bleeding. In return, Kody gave her protection, status, and camera time. They propped each other up, not as partners, but as survivors of a crumbling empire they helped destroy. And now, they're stuck in the ruins, isolated from the rest of the family, scorned by fans, and haunted by the ghosts of three women who finally walked away with their dignity. The truth is, Robyn never won. She got the house, the man, the legal papers. But what she didn't get, what she'll never have, is the genuine love, sisterhood, and connection the original wives built for decades. Coming up next, final thoughts and the hard truth about what the sister wives experiment really exposed. Final reflection. The illusion of equality was a lie. From day one, sister wives sold us a dream. 4 women, 1 man, equal love, shared respect. A plural family built on faith, fairness, and emotional balance. But now, after all the years, the episodes, the breakdowns, and the heartbreaks, we can finally say it. That dream was a lie. There was never equality. There was Kody, and there was Robyn. Everyone else was just set dressing for a story that always revolved around them. Robyn didn't just become the favorite, she became the system. She weaponized her victimhood, erased history, stole narratives, manipulated relationships, and in the end, positioned herself not beside Kody, but above everyone else. And Kody, he let it happen. Because he didn't want wives, he wanted worshipers. And Robyn gave him that, until even he looked like a man trapped in the kingdom he built. Christine found the courage to walk. Janelle found her voice. Meri, after decades of pain, finally chose peace. But Robyn stayed, and now she sits in that big Flagstaff house, surrounded by silence and shattered illusions. Because no matter how hard they tried to script this fairy tale, the truth always leaks out. So now I'm asking you, what do you think? Has the truth finally been exposed? Was it ever really about sisterhood? Or was this all just a stage, and Robyn was cast as the leading lady from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if this breakdown hit home, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's been watching this unfold with wide eyes and a heavy heart.